Well, folks, we're blessed today to have a lady coming to us all the way from Malaysia, and her name is Julie Shao. Julie, welcome to Beat Diabetes.
Glad to be here, Dennis.
Well, we're glad to have you, and you've got quite a story. I think one of the statements you made that really grabbed my attention, let's see if I can find it here. You said you have come back from the depths of hell. Well, that intrigued me. That sounds like things weren't going well at all for you at one point, and that wasn't all that long ago. Why don't you just tell us what was going on and why things were so bad for you?
I entered hospital via the emergency ward. I wasn't feeling good and I had been vomiting, so the ambulance came to fetch me, and I ended up in the ICU. I say that statement because I never expected to leave hospital alive.
You thought you were about to die.
Death comes to everybody, but what a way to go. So I was lucky because my son is ever concerned about me. He sent me he called the ambulance to come very early, and I ended up in the emergency ward and then straight away to the ICU. And I stayed there for 4 days with so many IVs, so many drugs, so many, I don't know what not. I was totally out. I couldn't understand anything. I was non-compute. Nothing was understandable. I was stone cold. No matter how many blankets I had on, I was frozen. I can't say that's a good life. So I was thinking, am I to leave? Well, I said it's okay. Leave peacefully. That is the best.
All right, everybody's wanting to know right now what was going on. We know this program is about diabetes, but you had some other issues as well. Tell us, what were the issues? What were your medical problems that were going on at that time?
I did have a lot of stress, so much stress. I kept moving house. Everybody knows moving house is not an easy task. I kept on feeling so tired, so tired, had no appetite. And when I started vomiting, my son said, that's enough, you're going to hospital. And luckily so, that's how I can come out alive.
Okay, so you mentioned in one of your comments that you apparently you had sky high blood sugar, but you also had pneumonia at the same time. Is that correct?
Yes, this pneumonia, according to the doctor, I have no idea. This pneumonia came suddenly, out of the blue. And he says this is a very deadly type of pneumonia. It can kill you. I was thinking, oh well, sucker, really. I am on my deathbed. That's what I thought. And I said, oh well, never mind. We all go through that. So a doctor put me on the IV, and I was so dehydrated, and he put me on 4 types of antibiotics, all super duper. I did not know anything about diabetes, which he later came to tell me when I was discharged to the normal ward. I spent 4 days in ICU and 4 days in normal ward. He told me, he came charging in and says, Julie, you are officially diabetic. That was horror to hear. That to me, diabetic was a death sentence. I don't know anything about it. I'm totally ignorant. Totally.
Now tell me this: how high was your A1c at that time, and did you know how high that was? In other words, when he told you that, did you say to yourself, "Boy, this is pretty serious"?
Dennis, I didn't know anything. I didn't know what was serious. And he told me my A1c was 13.8. My blood glucose was 21, a bit over. It didn't make any sense to me. I didn't know anything. I was in a very bad situation, recovering from pneumonia. I was totally blurred. I couldn't understand anything. Nothing made sense.
Did the doctor explain to you that this is not just diabetes, but you've got a really bad case of it? Your blood sugar is very, very high. Did he tell you that?
Yes, he did. He says it's so sky high. And he says you have to be put on medicine, tablets and injections and all that. But the thing is, what puzzled me after this situation, I happen to remember, since I am officially diabetic, the food in the hospital should be diabetic fare. I'm afraid not. I was given all the things that I wasn't supposed to eat. I was given white rice. I was given white bread. I was given our local kueh, like little tidbits, sweet nothings. Yes. All these things I later found out as I wisened up. It's not supposed to be my diet.
So how did you feel coming home? You got better in terms of the pneumonia, and that was pretty well taken care of apparently by the antibiotics, but that didn't fix your sky-high blood sugar. What was your reaction? What did you think when you came home? Were you determined to try to figure out what you could do about it, or were you just resigned to the idea that, well, I'm just going to have it and eventually die from it?
You see, I came out from the hospital in a wheelchair. I couldn't walk. I couldn't even sit down. I couldn't sit down straight. I'd slide down. I had no energy at all. And when I came home, I had to be helped to my room. I couldn't walk. I couldn't walk at all. I don't know why, but that's the case. And there was no such thing as me doing anything positive. I was just dead meat on my bed. My son is the one who looked after me. And since I was vastly underweight, and I needed to eat, I didn't know about you then. My sister in New Zealand, Angeline, she is the one who gave me your website, your channel, and I studied it. I studied everything, and I even studied the comments made, and it made a vast difference. Yes, the comments, the people on your channel have contributed as well.
Another thing that is surprising is so many of the people with the sky-high blood sugar, the A1Cs 10, 12, 14, yours was almost 14, they're vastly overweight, just big people, and you were slim and had it, so that's kind of a shocker.
I thought being slim was fine. But it doesn't mean that you're being slim, you won't be diabetic. That's what I found out. And I have trouble putting on weight. That's why I have to eat. In the early stages, I had to eat. I had so many pills to take. Even though I was getting better at the hospital, there were still so many antibiotics I needed to take. And I needed to have food. With my weight as it was, I cannot not eat.
So intermittent fasting was out for you. There's just no way you can cut meals when you're underweight the way you were. And I guess that led you to focus on just the lowering the carbs. But before we get to that, let me just ask you this. When you started watching my channel, were you convinced quickly by what I had to say, or did you take quite a while to kind of weigh it and evaluate whether this preacher knows what he's talking about? Or what was your reaction when you first started watching my videos?
You're a great preacher, Dennis. You also very, how you say, you put it in layman terms that anyone can understand. And you do it so convincingly and in a nice way. There are many types of people in this world, and it's hard, very hard to adjust the food that we eat. And I have found out that diabetes is not actually totally genetic. It is the luggage that our parents give us. Being Chinese, I'm Chinese, we take rice, we take noodles. Not so much cakes and all that. Even though I'm a pastry chef, I wasn't into all the cakes and pastries that came out of my kitchen. I taste it, but that's all. When you see it every day, so much quantity, you're not interested in eating it. And I don't bake it for my family much.
Okay, well, let's talk about after you started watching my videos. Apparently, it didn't take too long for you to be convinced you needed to cut your carbohydrates, cut out a lot of that white rice, white bread, and so forth. Did you see results fairly quickly when you started doing that?
Well, not actually, because I wasn't up to watching TV. I was still in bed. I was sleeping totally. I asked doctor, how long will it take for me to recover? He says 2 months. So take your medicines and rest. Take your food. You must eat. So that's what I did. But I didn't go low carb. But I didn't have much of an appetite anyway. So I kept fainting. I was always on the floor. And fainting, you suddenly will wake up, right? But even when I wake up from my faint, I can't move. I can't move at all. I can't even get up. I was frozen there. So again, it's my son. He have to pick me up from the floor. And I'm 5'6", average height, but still pretty tall. Falling from my height, I damaged my bones. I couldn't even walk. So straight to the chiropractor and go for therapy. And yes, my body was misaligned. So I have to go and learn how to walk again. I couldn't walk. So we went to the nutritionist and they tried with low glycemic. I didn't know what the hell was low glycemic and what type of foods I could eat. But still, after going through all that, it was nothing in comparison with what you taught us. Dennis, you're a very good teacher.
Well, thank you.
You put it so nicely, and you give us choices. Giving up food is not something that people will accept without giving something else to replace it. And yes, I have learned from your channel so much about what I can eat and what I can't eat. Well, I won't say I won't eat it. At least I won't go overboard. I will have it in small portions.
Okay, so you made incredible progress in 6 months' time. I want to know where you went to in terms of your A1c, but also kind of the journey in terms of some of the new foods you discovered, some of the dietary changes, and then how you, I'm guessing by the end of that 6 months with the much lower A1c, you were feeling a whole lot better. Take us through that journey rather quickly, but take us through the journey.
Now, when I was in hospital, I had a BG, blood glucose of 21.1, A1c 13.8. Okay? So I'm still not very clear how it went. Like I told you, I was totally blurred, and memory was not there. Totally, it was out. And by the 30th of October 2021, that is 5 months. 5 months later, I went for my test. There were so many tests. I'll only say the blood glucose and A1c. And I didn't know what's going on because we don't receive the report so quickly, and it goes to the doctor. He's my endocrinologist. It goes to the doctor. He reads it first. So I have no idea what it is. All I know is when I entered his room, I saw my doctor having his arms in the air and shaking it. And I was thinking, oh my God, my blood sugars must have gone even worse. So I sat down and finally found out my blood glucose was 5.9. 5.9. A1c, 6%. Now, how on earth do I get there? I haven't even started fasting yet. I don't take snacks. I eat early, and I don't eat till the next morning, a later breakfast. That's all I did. And I've always followed this diet of having my meats, my veggies, and some rice. How did I get there? I don't know. I have no idea. So he was having his hands in the air, and I was thinking, oh my God, I'm dead meat. And then finally he told me, and it didn't really make much sense to me. Then when I finally got the blood test report in my hands, I could see the scores that I should aim for. And I was thinking, gosh, how did I get there from 13.8 to 6%? I thank God for that. Yes, it's a miracle. So the doctor, he had prescribed many types of medicines, and I didn't take all. I was very against insulin. I'm afraid of needles, Janice. Very afraid of needles. And I didn't agree to take metformin. I was prescribed it. I even have it. It's still there in its packet. I won't take metformin. I sort of heard it in the early days that metformin wasn't good. And I didn't know why. So I only took 2 types of sugar pills, and the minimum. I never took more than I should. I took minimum. So I was very surprised to get such good results after 5 months, Dennis. So I was thinking, oh, there's still life for me.
Yeah, well, you definitely saw incredible progress. Let's talk about how you were feeling. I mean, at one point, someone would have looked at you, Julie, and said, there's not much hope for this lady. She's fainting. She's got pneumonia. She's got sky-high diabetes. She feels miserable. She can hardly walk. By the end of that period, were you feeling better on all counts? Were you still struggling with certain things in terms of how you felt?
Yes, I did feel better, but not very energetic. I was still underweight. I was still 50 kgs. And there I remained for quite some time, 50 kgs. As I got better, further down the road, yes, I started to be able to eat more, and I gradually put on weight as my diabetes got better. instead of wasting away, I put on weight slowly. In my family, I don't know why, we've always been slender, always. We eat heaps and heaps. We just can't put on weight.
So, Julie, your story you've been telling us happened over the year 2021, is that right?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so we're now in 2024, 3 years later or so. What's gone on since that time? Are you continuing to make progress, feeling better, and you keeping your blood sugars at a good range?
After I achieved the 6% after 5 months, I decided to go fully onto what you advised. But I had given up my pills. I wasn't on the pills anymore, nothing. So I understood that without the pills, even though how minimum it was, my A1c would definitely go up. So I was even more determined to bring it down. So after 4 months, the next test, it definitely went up. It went up to, no, it didn't go up. The BG went up to 7.3. That is the blood glucose. But my A1c became 5.8. That is with your dietary requirements.
And no pills at all, no diabetic meds at all?
No pills already. And the doctor looked at me and says, are you on pills? And knowing the doctor knows his patients, we may not tell him the truth entirely. Said, no, I don't take pills. I don't intend to take pills. I rather do it the natural way. And your natural way works.
I want to remind you that we've grouped certain videos together into series that are available for you to download on your phones or computers. Out of the many hundreds of videos I've made about diabetes, I put together 3 series that I consider to be the most important and fundamental for the newly diagnosed diabetic who is desperate to get their blood sugar down in a hurry. First is the original series I call the Diabetes Emergency Kit. Second is the series titled More Fundamentals of Beating Diabetes. And third is my latest series called Beat Diabetes in 6 Months, and these are videos specifically created from our Beat Diabetes challenges. There'll be a link in the description that will take you to where you need to go to purchase any one or all 3 of these Beat Diabetes series. You can watch the videos immediately on your phone or computer, and you can also download them. Also, I give you permission to copy these files, put them on a flash drive, and share them with someone you care about.